Yo, what's up, guys? BeatsbyHcien here. In case this is your first time, and in today's video, I'm going to be mixing my subscribers' beats. So yeah, I'm doing this thing where I ask my subscribers on my Telegram channel to send me beats, and I pick the best amongst each of them. This is the first time I'm doing this. So if you want me to mix your beats as well for free, join the Telegram channel and you can join the challenge as I do this often. I can also move to sending songs and all that. And yeah, I do that and show you guys how I do it. So you want to join the Telegram group where a lot of things are happening. So I also give my review because this particular beat, I also gave my review on what the producer can do to make it better. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to be trying to mix the beat. So please bear with me. This is what the beat sounds like for now. So yeah, I think the beats can be better, which I already explained to the guy. Yeah, so let's just get straight into the mixing. First of all, as you can see, I'm on my mixer channel already. And the first thing I always do, if you've been watching my video also on Ableton, is to first of all, color code my stuff so that I know where my drums are, I know where my SFX are, and I know where my instruments are. So that's the first thing you want to do when you send them to your mixer channel. And you can see he did a good job of renaming it, like rename it to rim to kick. So you want to also make sure of that. Let me reset this. So yeah, you want to make sure of that. And for some reasons, I'm an Ableton guy, but I'm doing this for FL Studio so that my FL Studio users, can, learn one or 18 or two. And you can see I'm using a meter here, and this particular meter is a wave candy, and I put it at the last part of my mastering bus, and I'm just trying to use that to, see my metering and see where my levels are at, because I noticed on FL Studio, once I switch to whatever I'm mixing, I notice that's what's going to be showing here, and I want to always constantly see my volume knob. And if you're Ableton master and you think there are better ways to do this, let me know in the comment section as well. So as usual, I'm going to start with my kick. So you can see it's hitting below minus 18. So the first thing I would like to add is a plugin tech. And what I'm going to be doing for this is to just, add a little bit of low end to the kick. As you can see, the more you do this, the more it goes up, but that's not what we want. So not bad around here. And I'm going to be increasing the gain a bit because I'm trying to make sure my kick is hitting around that minus 12. Yeah, you can see we're hitting around the minus 12 knob, which is not bad. So after I've done that, I think I'm going to come into the EQ. We're going to be trying as much as possible to be using stock as much as we can, just so that everybody can follow. So I'm going to be using the low pass step 8. So I think I like what that sounds like. And you see, we'll bring up the volume a bit. He used 2 kicks, so I'm just going to bring this one a bit down. And remember, I forgot to also say, after I color coded, the next thing I do is to raise my master channel up to the highest. Sorry for omitting that, guys. So I raise it up to the highest. The essence why I'm doing this is so that as I'm mixing on the mixing stage, I want to make sure that it doesn't cross this 0 dB. It could be around the below the 0 dB. So when I'm done mixing, I drop the master volume back to where it was. So automatically, I'll be giving myself like 5 to 6 dB of headroom. That is my own style of getting headroom for mastering. So I hope you guys take note of that. I was supposed to say that. See, after I do that, I'm going to bring up the rim. So for this one, I'm going to add in a pre-Q. And what you're just basically doing when you're adding EQ, you are just, checking out frequencies that are not really needed. So So I'm going to be using a fruity convolver for this one. Bring the wet knob down a bit. Yeah. I think I like what that sounds like. And I'm also checking my knob around there. And yeah. So the next I'm going to add is going to be like a another rim that he added here. I'm going to pan this a little bit to the right. And I'm also going to bring in like an EQ to this. And my own style of mixing, I don't really add too much plugins, you know, because yeah, that's just me. I don't add too much plugins. I just do more of balancing and add where I feel I need to, basically. Yeah. So yeah, that's just it. And for this one, I think I want to add a smack attack just to tighten it up more. So yeah, we're gonna smack attack and let's tighten it up a bit. Yeah, I think I like what that sounds like. Spin down the kick a bit. Bring this down as well. Use your ears as much as you are mixing. So because he plays 3 different rims, so just to spread them a bit, I have to play one in the middle, then put one left and one right. So that's just what I am doing here. And then I'm constantly looking at my meter, making sure it doesn't cross this 0, like I said. And I'm going to add in a smack attack here as well. And if anybody knows how I can just make this to just detach automatically without having to detach it all the time, let me know as well. I'm gonna make this tight. So let's bring it down. Yeah, I think this is better. So another thing I'm doing, I'm making sure these two side as I'm mixing, the one is not like lower and one is higher. Like I'm trying to make sure there's a balance to it. Okay, so yeah. Let's add the fruity convolver to that. Bring down the wets. Let's add a delay. This is to be one of my best delays when I was using FL Studio. So I'm going to reduce the wet knob of this. So you can like what that sounds like. Bring this down as well. And for this particular one, I think one thing I'm going to add first of all is to add in like an EQ. And I'm omitting the bass for a reason. I like mixing every of my percussions, then I mix my bass last. That's just what I always like to do. So I want it to be, wide. So I'm going to add in manipulator. And what I'm just going to do is add some stereo, just to add some weight. Make it wide. Also going to add a smack attack as well, because just to tighten up the yeah. I like that. Bring it is. Add a delay to this. Put this to the right, just to balance the ears, because I said I'm looking around this side. Add an EQ. High pass it. Maybe I want to steep a little bit like this. I want a bit of that. Add converter to that as well. Bring it down. Yeah, I think you can see it's banging. Even the kick is banging, and my meters are not even up to 0 yet. And everything is really banging as I want. So let's bring up the bass. This bass is a bit moldy. So the first thing I want to do is to add in like an EQ. In case you're watching, if you made this beat Musondo, I think. Next time you want to make sure you have a kick, a bass that's not too moldy. You want to pay attention to sound selection. Like I always say to you guys, sound selection is like the most important thing, one of the most important thing when it comes to mixing. So don't just feel like at the end of the day I will get it sorted out. It's not a problem. Trust me, guys. You want to make sure your sound selection is on point. Yeah, I think it's no longer that muddy anymore. But I still want to get that low end though. So I think at this point I'm going to bring in our bass. As you can see, I don't really use FS Studio that much, and because of my subscribers, I think it's going to be fair to also use it for other people that use FS Studio as well. So I'm going to add an our bass just to bring up the low end more, but not too muddy as well. Yeah. So now I can bring it down. Another thing about mixing it, this is just the first mix, There are some things you might hear, there are some things you might not hear now. So you want to make sure when you're done mixing the first time, leave it. The next day, come back to you with fresh ears and try to sort out some things that you were not able to hear previously. Okay, guys. So that's what I do. So this is like my first mixing, and second time I come back to it and see what I can do to make it better or what is sounding off. or if I come back to it and I feel like okay, it's okay, then I will just leave it. Okay, so going to add a capitator just to bring a little bit of distortion. Please always save if you are using FL Studio. Always save. So I'm going to be using the beefy preset, or let's say the dark fast, yeah. Then bring the wet knob to around 1 o'clock. So just bring that down a bit. We don't want that to be too loud. Yeah. I'm not really a fan of this bass, but I'll probably come back to it later. So I don't know this from the sound, but I can hear a reverb. So just in case, make sure you always remove effects when you're sending your stems for mixing, okay? But if it's from the sound as well, also from the inbuilt VST plugin that you're using to create your beat. If you notice that the reverb is too much, these VST plugins have settings where you can go and turn it off a bit or reduce it. Because I can hear reverb in this particular sound, and personally, I am not really liking that reverb, but let's try to see if we can use EQ to roll that out. Let's see. High pass. Mixing is all about balancing, making sure that everything sounds right. As you can see, we're not even around 0 yet. I want to add in an EQ because I feel like if this particular sound is also not sounding, let's check it. Bring this up a bit, this guitar. So I think I want to add in like a reverb and a delay to that. It's da-da-da. So we want it to go like da-da-da, da-da-da. You get, so, and I'm just making it this, and I'm reducing the input of the delay. I've not gotten what I'm looking for. Still know what I'm looking for. I want you to do. Still fast. Look at that speed. Still know what I want. Yeah, that's it. I'm adding a footy converter. And please, like I said, this beats can be a lot better. Sound selection, very key. Melodies you play, very key. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to be mixing it. Okay. So please, if you're watching Musando, take notes and make sure you do all what I said in the Telegram. And if you also want to know what's wrong, go join the Telegram group and you'll see everything going on there. So yeah. But like I said, let's just keep mixing this beat. One other thing I like to do is just solo my instrument just to make sure that everything have space and they are not fighting each other. And while you're also mixing, always take note that vocals is going to come in. So you want to also be panning beat to the left, to the right, regardless, just the left to the right, because the vocals is coming into the middle. And also frequency wise, you want to also to be making sure you're making room for that 500 hertz, just so that the vocals can, cut through. Let's work on the log drums. So the first thing, I want to give it a little bit of body. And to do that, I think I'm going to add in like a owl bass. Not bad. And let's see. And that's thing I'm going to add for it. It would be a plug-in tech. And I'm just going to try to boost the low end a bit. No, just boost it a bit. Yeah, just so that it can bang. Yeah. See. Make it down. I feel the log drums can be a lot better as well. So please, if you're watching this, please, log drum can be better in terms of sound selection. Well, let's see what we can do to it. Let's go to a low pass. That's it, man. That's my channel for you. Regardless of whatever it beats, I'm going to like work on it as long as it's the best for that particular time I asked for it. So because I feel like nobody's better, nobody's the best. Everybody gets better over time. And the more you put in work, the more you're going to sound better. Maybe I'll make a video and show you guys what my first beat sound like. If you want that video, let me know in the comment section. But yeah, let's try to make this log drum, bang. Basically, there's no rule in this, but let's see. Try to raise the low end. Another thing I can do is maybe adding an MV2. Just trying to make it sound right, basically. So I'm not really liking this. I'm not really liking this log drums. So as usual, what I want to start adding on my stops, I want to bring it down because you can see the highest level. So yeah, that's basically how I mix my beats. Normally, I don't normally master my beats when I want to send it for an artist. The essence being when you send your beats mixed without mastering to an artist, when they finish recording, they are also going to, master the overall track. So I don't see a reason why I should master my beats, for any reason if I'm going to send it to an artist. But if I'm going to, upload it on BeatStars and all of that just for listening pleasure, I'm going to always use T-Rax just to raise up the volume, beef up the volume. I may have a video. You can click this link and, somewhere around there and go watch it. What I always do when I want to master. But as you can see around there, after mixing, you can see that we have like a very good headroom. We have almost like 5 to 6 dB of headroom. But for some reason, my T-Rax is not really working on FL Studio. So this is just what I do for my mixing. Like I said, I don't normally master my stuff when I am sending it to an artist. But for this purpose of this video, I'm just showing you guys what I do. And whenever you load on FL Studio, I notice there's a fruity limiter plugin already, effect already. Make sure you turn it off. And as you can see, I'm using a wave candy just to see my levels. And if you use FL Studio, you know a better way I can do this. Let me know so that when I'm doing this tutorial for you guys on FL Studio, I can be doing it properly for you guys. But yeah, you see, this is my way. Just the same thing I do on Ableton. I can use the same method, go into Cubase. It's all about knowing the basics and knowing what mixing is all about when you are mixing, and you can be able to translate this to other doors basically. But like I said, I use T-Rax for this, but T-Rax is not yet. What I can even do aside this, I can also use like Ozone, I think, vintage, something like that. Yeah, I can use this. Bring the peak down to the ceiling down to minus 0.1 so that it doesn't really cross there at all, and I bring my threshold down. So if you want an analog sound, you can click there. For the purpose of this video, like I said, I just preferred using. Let me check this out. I preferred using the fruity vintage limiter instead of using the I don't know why this is doing this. If anybody knows why, let me know. But yeah, I prefer using the vintage limiter instead of using the normal you know, you get the point. You get the point. And yeah, like I said, I don't normally master my beats. I only mix them, make sure they're sounding well. Mixing is all about balancing, making sure every volume cuts to, making sure frequencies are not fighting each other, making sure everything is sounding really nice. And you can just add in, some limiters to boost them up a bit for listening pleasure. Like I said, if you're sending it to an artist to record, you don't want to master because when they finish mixing, they are going to do the same thing called mastering. So just a quick video. I just wanted to show you guys this on FL Studio. If you want more FL Studio tutorials, let me know in the comment section, and I'm going to try my best to do it because FL Studio, I think I'm an Ableton guy, but yeah, you get the point. But I'm going to always try my best just to level it up for my FL Studio viewers and my Ableton viewers, so that everybody gets to learn regardless of the door that you were using. If you're having issues with music theory and all of that, because yeah, it's like one of the foundation to being a good music producer, you can just click the link, go to my playlist, and go watch some nice videos, well structured for you guys to get better. And yeah, if you have any help to make me do some things easier on FL Studio, let me know as well. It's been a while, and I'll probably make a spatial mastering video for anyone that wants to master their beats for streaming purposes. If you want that, let me know. This video is already too long. I didn't plan it to be this, but yeah, it is what it is. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Remember to always stay productive. Peace.